All right, let's talk about something we've all dealt with. You know the feeling. You look at your recycling bin and it is absolutely overflowing. But then you go to lift the bag out and it's light as a feather. Why? Well, because it's mostly just air.
Right? All those plastic bottles, all those cans, they take up so much space. And while that might just be a small hassle in your kitchen, imagine that problem scaled up to the size of an entire city. Suddenly, it's not just annoying, it's a massive multi-million-dollar headache.
So here's the crazy question. What if that empty air, the stuff you're not even thinking about, is actually costing your city millions? It sounds nuts, I know, but that is exactly the surprising story we're going to unpack.
So just how big of a deal is this really? To get a handle on it, let's head over to the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. Their waste management agency, a group called Tadweer, is dealing with a literal mountain of waste.
Get this, every single day, Tadweer manages more than 6,000 tons of waste. That is a staggering amount of stuff to collect, transport, and then figure out what to do with, day in and day out. And these guys have a huge goal. They want to divert 85% of all that waste from landfills by 2030. So they've got this massive army of over 6,000 trucks on the road. But even with all that power, they keep hitting the same roadblock. The problem? The bins are constantly full, saturated, as they call it. But full of what? Yep, you guessed it, air.
And this is really the core of the whole thing. The problem isn't how heavy the trash is, it's how much space it takes up. The real villain in this story, the thing that's costing a fortune, is just plain old empty air.
Okay, so if the problem is air, the solution seems pretty obvious, right? You gotta get rid of it. And that's where this really clever, super simple little device called SQWEEZY comes into play.
And there it is, that's the SQWEEZY. Its genius is just how simple it is. It's basically a manual press you use with your foot, right in your home. Pop in a bottle or a can, give it a good stomp, and boom, you're done.
I mean, think about it. No electricity, no batteries, no complicated parts. It just works. And the results are wild. It shrinks the volume of plastic in cans by a whopping 70 to 85%. And the best part? It's made from recycled plastic, and it's 100% recyclable itself. This isn't some concept either. Over 1 million people are already using it.
You know, here's the thing that'll make you smile. It's kind of fun to use. Seriously. There was this pilot program where the government in Malta gave out 100,000 of them, and the feedback was amazing. Families said their kids actually loved crushing the bottles. It turns a boring chore into this satisfying little eco-win.
Okay, I can hear you now. So one family can fit a few more bottles in their bin. Whoop-de-doo, right? Well, hold on. Let's watch what happens when that tiny action creates a massive ripple effect across an entire city.
Let's put this into perspective. Take a regular 50-liter trash bag. Before, you might cram, 17 uncrushed bottles in there? But after a little squeeze action, that exact same bag can now hold 47 bottles. We're talking almost 3 times as many, just by getting rid of the air.
So on average, that's 75% less wasted space in every single bag. You're literally squeezing the inefficiency right out of the system, starting right in your own kitchen.
All right, now this is where the money part gets really interesting. Here's a little industry secret for you. Waste contracts are usually priced by weight, euros per ton. But the real cost for the companies doing the work, the collection, the transport, the sorting, that's all driven by volume. And puffy, uncrushed bottles are a total volume nightmare. So when you slash that volume, where does all the money get saved? You'd probably guess it's from needing fewer garbage trucks, right? Makes sense. But check this out. In a simulation for 100,000 homes, an absolutely mind-blowing 78% of the savings comes from waste treatment, the back-end processing. So why is that number so huge? Well, think about a sorting facility. When plastic comes in already compacted, it's like a dream for them. It stacks super densely, so they can store 3 or 4 times more stuff in the same warehouse space. And it zips right through their sorting machines without causing jams. It just makes the whole operation way more efficient.
Okay, so let's get to the bottom line. What's the grand total? For those 100,000 households, the estimated annual savings clock in at over 5 million euros.
And it's not just about the money. That one simple little squeeze also stops over 1,500 tons of CO2 from getting pumped into the atmosphere every single year. And how does it do that? By eliminating thousands and thousands of truck trips. We are talking nearly 5,500 fewer garbage truck runs. That's less fuel burned, less traffic clogging the streets, less wear and tear on the vehicles, all from getting rid of, say it with me, the air.
You see, this is about more than just a cool little device. It's a whole new way of looking at big city problems. It's about finding these simple, distributed solutions for what seem like massive, centralized issues. So let's look at the business case, because this is wild. The upfront cost to get a SQWEEZY to 100,000 homes? About 2.9 million euros. But remember those savings? Over 5 million euros a year. Which means that in the very first year, the city isn't just breaking even, they're already ahead by over 2 million euros.
Let me say that again because it's important. The program pays for itself in less than a year. This isn't some 10-year plan. It's an immediate win, both for the city's budget and for the environment.
All right, so let's pull back for the big picture. What we're looking at here is a completely energy-free solution, cooked up by the Innovation Lab Skimstones. And what's so cool is that it actually empowers every person, every family to be a real part of the solution. And when you think about the potential market, 220 million households in Europe and the Middle East alone, the chance to scale this kind of positive impact is just massive.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? When you look at all these giant, complex problems our cities are facing, how many other solutions are out there that are just this simple, just this effective, hiding in plain sight, right under our feet?